Talking of the All Whites, Danny Hayes selects a side that contains 3 A-League players in Ollie Sale, Dane Ingham and Tim Payne. And although Winston Reid is left on the bench ahead of his farewell game in Auckland at the weekend, the All Whites' other big name, as mentioned, Newcastle United's Chris Ward, does start, and he skippers the side. Andre de Jong is the son of former All White and A-League commentator Fred, while Matthew Garbett is the subject of transfer speculation from England, with Everton, Leicester and Wolves all linked with a 20-year-old who's yet to make his senior debut for his current Italian club, Torino. Clipped forward by Sainsbury, but not particularly well, and there's a chance here for New Zealand. First shot on goal, and it was a stinger too from Tim Payne. Matt Ryan called into action in the early part of the contest.
He hasn't been playing too often of late, Mobile, so it may take a little while just to find his groove.
Now's a problem here for Australia, and New Zealand should have opened the scoring. Andre de Jong got the wrong side of the defender. Australia struggled to deal with the long ball, and that should be 1-0 for the All Whites. Unlike Martin Boyle. Moyes corner, near post. Force for Jackson Irvine. And that should have been a goal as well. But he jabbed his effort wide with the left peg.
Well, New Zealand really struggling to clear the ball.
He'll be disappointed with that. But Australia starting to assert themselves here. Our Mobile checks back onto the right boot and tries to curl it into that bottom corner. Ollie Sale had the angles covered, but Australia, you sense, are coming.
Yeah, the pressure is building.
Boyle trying to thread the needle for Mobile, but the gap wasn't really there, and Joe Bell will carry it forwards. Loose pass though. Karacic.
Aiden, come on. We got no one in the pocket. Yeah.
No one in the pocket, says Graham Arnold.
Just as Jackson Irvine got in the pocket.
Oh, that's loose from Pineacre. And Australia, just a glimmer of an opportunity, but Aiden Trustic lost his balance and ultimately lost the ball.
Flashbacks to a couple of matches ago.
Driving run through midfield. Sorry, Macca. From Garbett. Beyond him is Just. And Matt Ryan has just shown a bit of the goal there to Elijah Just. I think it was meant as a cross. Boxall sticking tight on Taggart, and New Zealand have the ball. It's Matthew Garbett. There are just too many bodies in front of him, but they'll pick up the scraps through Joe Bell. This is Nando Pineacre. Kakache. Little threaded ball through for Garbett again. He's a live wire, isn't he, Garbett? And they've got men over here. It's Kakache. And that took a touch on the way through as well. Another corner for New Zealand. They continue to pose a threat.
Well, it was a great turn, wasn't it, from Kakache?
A little bit of room here for Frustic. Mobile. Mobile again, threaded ball, lovely run by Bayic across the face. Martin Boyle was straining every sinew to get there. In the end, it's come off a New Zealand defender for an Australian corner, and it's the Socceroos' turn to apply some pressure.
Fantastic play again down the left-hand side, and look at that run from Aziz Bates. He looks up, fires it across the goal.
Aaron Moyes' corner. And headed towards goal. It's actually in the back of the net, but the whistle has already gone, which has frustrated Jackson Irvine. It won't count. I think Degenek might have got the final touch. The boos ring out around Suncorp, but the whistle had clearly blown. Is there a little push?
Oh, it's saying that Jackson Irvine has pulled the player down. He looked to have just slipped for me.
Crucially, the referee thought otherwise.
Opportunities at both ends.
Boxall left it a touch short for Bell, and Jackson Irvine said, "I'll have that." Our Mobile for Australia. Mobile! Oh, wonderful! Wonderful goal from our Mobile. It's his first in nearly a year in Australian colours, and it lights up Suncorp Stadium. Nothing Ollie Sail could do. Australia in front.
Well, there was only one thing on his mind, wasn't it? It was a great win of the ball there from Jackson Irvine. And when he picks up the ball here, Aaron Mobile, you can see there's only one thing: inside and strike. A little bit of versatility in their team. Definitely with and without the ball can have an effect on that as well.
Again, that strength from Chris Wood, fending off Trent Sainsbury. Here come New Zealand, chance for Chris Wood. Oh, he had Kakachi outside him. Maybe he didn't see it. Australia still haven't cleared it. Garbutt, and that was too hot to handle for Matty Ryan. Tickets available if you'd like to attend that historic occasion. First NPL team into the Cup final. Meantime, Joe Bell for New Zealand. De Jong. Ingham pushing forward on the right this time. And Joe Bell just sort of stabbed it towards goal without much conviction. And that is half-time. A lively opening 45 minutes in Brisbane, low centre of gravity. One back by Pineacre. Justice fouled. Ryuji Sato waits, threaded through for De Jong. Chance here for Joe Bell. And it's straight at Matty Ryan again. And now the referee will check on the welfare of the all-white winger, Elijah Just. And that's part of why he's there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Graham Arnold likes the fact that he can draw defenders away and open up the space for others.
Yeah, and when he made those runs...
Here's a chance potentially. Matty Ryan bravely out. And he's collided with either Wood or Sainsbury, one of the two. And was left prone on the deck.
That doesn't change the playing situation for Matty. Such an excellent custodian for the Socceroos over the years.
Boyle tried to ride that challenge as much as he could, but just couldn't keep his feet. And we've got the first booking. He's been pretty patient, Ryuji Sato, but finally that's run out. He issues a yellow card to Michael Boxall, and here's why. We're going to see the introduction of Ben Waine, who is familiar to fans of Wellington Phoenix, of course. Elijah Just, and the introduction at the expense of Joe Bell of Marko Stamenic, who's a teammate of Matty Ryan at FC Copenhagen. Milos Dagadek went for a ride on the back of Chris Wood. It was almost like a Wallabies versus All Blacks line out that for a minute.
Well, he definitely got up early, didn't he? Chris Wood looks like he's laughing at the time. What's he doing?
Slightly risky ball from Jackson Irvine, but it's paid off all right. And then lofted over the top for the run of Boyle, who's always a willing runner. Australia piling forward. McGree! A fraction too high, which has allowed New Zealand to recover. Now Kakachi, I think, has gone down on the deck, which opens the door for Karacic here. It's not the best cross. Flicked away by Dane Ingham. New Zealand want the game stopped. Mobile will continue. Beaten away by Ollie Sail. It'll drop here for Irvine. And they got bodies in the way, New Zealand, and now they should be able to get some attention to their injured player. Declan Wynne is going to be a like-for-like replacement for the Barato Kakache. Callum McCowan replaces the skipper, Chris Woods, and Cameron Howison, who is the only domestic-based player in the New Zealand squad, plays with Auckland City, replaces Andre de Jong. in preparation for the corner. Headed powerfully away, back in though by Atkinson. Nodded down by McLaren, and Boyle on the volley, didn't really get hold of it.
Yeah! Keep going, Riley! Riley!
Angled out by Payne towards Ingham. There's a bit of room for Garbutt. Oh, and he was collected from behind there by Jackson Irvine. Yeah, and I fancy we might see the yellow card. Maybe a little bit of frustration from Jackson Irvine. He felt the previous foul wasn't at all. I don't think there's much doubt about that one, Daniel McBreen. Boxall, now Payne. That's a good ball from Tim Payne. Slipped through by Garbutt. Ben Wayne trying to get away from Sainsbury. Good ball in. That's a really good clearance from Nathaniel Atkinson under serious pressure from Callum McCowart.
Well, that was some fantastic play from New Zealand.
Ingham's throw. New Zealand just reminding Australia they're still in this. The shot towards goal from McCowart. Pings about on the edge of the box. It's Pineacre. That could have gone anywhere. And rather desperate defending in the end as Irvine sweeps the ball out of play for a throw. Howison is there as well. Could be a key moment in the game. It is Callum McCowart, and again the wall does its job for Australia. And now they can break. It's Martin Boyle on the charge, just needs to slip it through. Matt Leckie to win the game for Australia. And it glances the outside of the post. Would you credit it? From one end of the pitch to the other. But Leckie couldn't quite convert.
It was a great save from Ollie Sale.
And Tim Payne has been replaced by Bill Tuiloma.
You can see when Taggart came off as well, he was a little, you could see the frustration in his face. You know, he's working hard, but it's just not quite there.
And in the end, our Mobile's goal is enough. Safe to say there's still a few things to fix for Graham Arnold, but the Socceroos leave Australian shores on a high note ahead of their World Cup adventure in Qatar. One more game to play in Auckland, of course. Full time at Suncorp. Australia 1, New Zealand 0.